and welcome to Transit Talk. It is July 13th in sunny Australia. Is it sunny today? It is sunny and there's no snow. I haven't looked out the window yet. It's cold. It's winter down here. So it is, yeah, so, and for those in the US, it'll be July 12th, and at some point you'll catch up to us in the future. We are doing Transit Talk. We are looking at the week that was. So the week that was for me had quite a lot there. I don't know that I really captured a huge amount in the week that was. So where are we? We're the 13th. So today we get, oh no, Gate 16's been active for a little while. The enthusiasm is there. The acceptance has been in place, 1762. That drops out for a day and then continues again. I'm not sure if I'm noticing anything with that. I'm just trying to tap into what I've noticed over the last week energetically. I did definitely notice when the emotional wave from the previous week disappeared. I felt the huge relief in not having that active emotions center driving every moment of my life and being able to get like a little bit of reprieve. I think the acceptance has been playing out for me. So that's 1762. I'm just going to look that channel up and see what it says in the book about it. We've had some, I don't know, tumultuous home life stuff and uncertainty, and I definitely sat in acceptance with that. So 1762 is page 50, and that's active for everyone. So you've got 62 in Mercury going backwards at the moment because it's in retrograde. So we're counting down. It's an interesting sort of space to sit in. So instead of moving through and going up the lines, we're going down the lines, which is why we probably feel that regression coming through. Channel of acceptance, a design of an organizational being. You have the rare mental ability of seeing the bigger picture without getting bogged down in all the details. However, if you do not take the time to look into all the relevant facts and details, your long-term visions will inevitably falter. Opinions need to be backed up by detail. And I've definitely, like, in terms of noticing that, I'm noticing that more in other people that where the opinions weren't backed up with detail, there was significant frustration. My husband very much has she'll be right. And I didn't notice it with me because he was doing it more with other people. But there was definitely some tension that came from that desire that opinion was backed up with detail. I wonder if I pull up his chart, what he's had going on in the last week. And he'd be okay with me talking about that. I'm just doing like an internal check. But we've also had plenty of conversations. So again, yeah, that wavelength, charisma, recognition. So there's been a lot active in the last week that would have activated a bunch of things. 3041, I just want to place on the body graph for myself. 3041. So that's a route to emotion center. So that emotion center is still there. Oh, that's his though. Yeah, the only universal one at the moment is the 1762. I wonder if that's why he's been feeling that little bit more pressure. There's an extra emotional connection to his root center. So what have I noticed? Let's focus for a second, Amy. Let's come back to me. There's been a lot active. So mating, the alpha, charisma, awakening, and the wavelength. I definitely noticed yesterday I was far more intense with the teenagers that I have been for a while, wanting them to sort of step into momentum and motivation. But whether that was just me, my menstrual cycle plays a huge part in my environment, and so whether that was just that shift in that cycle energy, which I suspect it probably was. All right, so let's look at what have we got coming up in the next week. So, like I said, that acceptance channel, the 1762, is going to drop out for a day and then it's going to come back. So, gate 17 is activated by Neptune, and that's with us and that's the gate of opinions. And that's where they're saying, like, for them to land with people, they need to be backed up by facts, not just our opinion. And so, yeah, that plays out a little bit. That's active in, what did I just say? Neptune. And Neptune is quite a slow moving planet, so it'll be active there for a little while. Gate 41 is active in Pluto, and again, it's a slow moving planet. Gate 20 is active. So that's going to be a consistent activation for me, at least for a little while, because I've got the 1034, so it's connecting in. It's the voice of the now. It's the present. I'm definitely feeling that. And it possibly shifted this week. There is definitely, though it's starting to feel like a constant energy. And this is one of the things with the transits, is that where those slow moving planets stay there for a little while, we fall into the pattern of thinking that they're a consistent energy and they disappear. The desire to express my opinions is well and truly there, though it did drop off a little bit this morning, which makes sense because its partner is dropped off from Mercury, and then where does 62 comes back in the Earth and Sun. So 1762 will come back in for everybody again this week. That acceptance, the channel, a design of an organizational being, the gate of opinion, the gate of details, bringing together the pair of them. So the gate of opinion, people who form opinions by projecting their minds into the future. And then gate 62, people with an eye for detail who always need to know the facts. And so where those two come together, it's opinion backed by fact. Then what we actually have coming through, so gate 62 is what's coming through in Earth. So that's what we're talking about, the gate of details, the preponderance of the small. So that should amplify for everyone this week. If you've got a defined throat, it will amplify for you. It will also amplify through that 17 for the universal transits. The gift of these people is to explain the intangible, making it accessible through clear factual expression. What that suggests to me is this is the week to be playing with marketing, especially if your business is a little bit more abstract. The language is going to come through quite clearly. It is also the gate of naming. Without the 17, these people may have all the details of a situation, but no ability to put them into a structural context. The benefit this week is that we also have the 17 available in the universal transits that we can leverage. The piece to remember is that where we're utilizing transit energy is it may be slightly more immature and less familiar to us. So it may feel a little bit more uncomfortable. It may feel a little bit more exciting. It's just that little bit of unfamiliar that comes through. And we can leverage that. So 62 is the first gate that's being activated, and then 61, which is a crown gate. 6124. So if you've got the 24, that will become active. For me, I do not have the 24 active, and so it will amplify the 61, but it won't have that complete channel. And the 24 is not activated in any of the transits. So gate 61 is the gate of mystery, the gate of inner truth. A people who are under considerable mental pressure to resolve what is unknown. And so this is the place where inspiration can be mutative, meaning it can change. In other words, of the many thoughts and inspirations that come flooding through this gate, some may have a lasting impact on the lives of others. Such inspirations are often experienced as the light bulb going on in the brain or a sudden moments of epiphany. This can be deeply inspiring for others as long as it is expressed clearly and at the right moment. The 61 puts 24 under pressure to come up with a concept that must eventually be expressed. Without the 24, the 61 is the love of a mystery without the need of solving it. And I think that's the piece that often the shadow of this particular gate, I'm pretty sure this is a hanging gate for me. It can't be. I must have the other ones. Where'd my body graph go? So 61, and I've got the 64 and the 63 in my Anya, if I'm remembering correctly. Let's actually pull my body graph up. Let's aim to be accurate. And there's that opinions backed by facts. No, I do have 61. I don't know why that's not highlighting on genetic matrix then. It will not be hard because it's not doing anything extra. It's not connecting to a channel. It's not activating. So what I notice with that consistent energy in me is that the desire to solve the mystery can be like really amplified. One of the things that I have to ask myself in the is this mine category is this my question to find the answer? And sometimes it is just that love of the mystery without solving it. And sometimes I do that really well and sometimes I don't do it as well. And that's because that energy it's a consistent inconsistency, meaning that the gate is consistent for me, but because the center isn't defined consistently, there's not always energy flowing through it. So the 61, 24, 43, 23 is that individual channel moving down, and it's allowing for that. Sorry, my husband just distracted me being in the background. I don't know why he's opted to be in the background in this moment, but that's okay. We will navigate that. So 61 is going to be that mystery, and if this is not a consistent energy for you and you potentially have that defined crown, or it's defining the crown for you with the 6124, allow the mysteries to unfold as they're going to unfold. It is the musing, it is the exploration, it is all kinds of things. So it's what it says here in the book is these people are great thinkers and musers who love to delve into the unknown, but can never solve their own life through their thinking. So it's for others, which ironically, because it's an individual channel, so it's our own thinking, but it's not for us. It's for the greater good. They must accept that some things are unknowable and they need to learn to let go of rationalizing and controlling their own thoughts. As a source of potential mutation, their mind is beyond their own understanding, and if they do not follow the true authority in their design, which can never be their mind, they will very likely become deeply melancholic about their lives. I've definitely lived that. So 61, like I said, for me, it's a consistent inconsistency, but allowing for that. So as this energy comes through, for those that it's not a consistent energy for, be aware that that melancholy, that desire to sort of solve things that can't be solved, that's the lesson and the invitation from this gate. And I just want to go back to what's the musing that we've got in the calendar. So this week's musing question for anyone in the community, if you're not in the community, the link for that will be somewhere floating around. Come and join us in the community. For anyone in the community, if you click on the transit link at the top, it says that the transit's alive. It's got the sun and the earth there. It's got the invitation for reflection. So this week, that invitation, so the title is Detailed Truth, which is that combination of the 61, 62, 62 coming with the details, 61 coming with the inner truth. And the reflection statement is to let the small details clarify the bigger truth, and bringing those together. And we've got gate 17. So there's a lot of crown Anya energy in the universe at the moment is what I'm reading into that. So a lot of inspiration, a lot of interpretation, and that inspiration can come as excitement or it can come as pressure. So that's what we've got coming up. Like I said, in terms of reflecting, so last week was the 53, 54, and we're just at the tail end of that right now. For me, both of those are consistent gates, and so I'm not noticing. So if you picked a fish up the fish is in water and you put it in water, it doesn't notice the difference. It's where we put the frog that lives on land into the water, you can start to see the contrast. So 53, 54, the reflection was ambitious beginnings. Begin what has energy to grow. And I'm definitely in that space, but I'm constantly in that space. That's a consistency for me. And so I struggle to put words around that because it is the fish in water. And it is, yeah, that shifting energy. I am definitely noticing that I'm shifting into a different cycle. There's a couple of things that were sparked for me. That's just so commonplace for me, though, that I'm not noticing a significant difference. What else have we got? We've got gate 16 has been active. The enthusiasm, does it stay with us? Let's move just a little bit further into the week. So we're looking through like Wednesday through Tuesday is what the calendar brings up. Again, that mating is active. So what's that being activated by for me? The 59 is coming through in a node, which is the looking to the future. Gate 55 is also active in the nodes. 55 partners with what, Amy? I feel like we've done something on 55 recently. 54, 53, playing hunt the body graph. 55, 39. Oh, that's the poke the bear. Without the 39, it's not necessarily going to do too much. But it's highlighted. Why is that highlighted? Something else must be activating the emotional center. 55, 39. I find as a familiar energy, it's not too bad. So we got 55, 59. The 59-6 is what's bringing up that mating channel, which is what's activating the emotion center. There you go. You just keep reading, Amy. You've got this. So 59-6 is the mating channel. Again, that's bringing in the emotions. So the channel we had last week was the 35-36. It was the emotional expression, I'm pretty sure. And I felt that very, very intensely. But the 59-6, I think it's a more familiar energy for me because it's one of the electromagnetic channels or a dominance channel that I've got with my husband. That's a consistency for us, at least in our relationship. But it's also, it's a movement. So it's the emotions to the sacral and it brings vitality. The emotional expression, particularly in that collective channel, I find that very uncomfortable. I'm not entirely sure why. That won't be the case for everybody. Everyone's going to respond differently. I'm feeling that that's all I'm drawn to say today. Is there anything else? Not really. There's a part of me that goes, but this should be 30 minutes. And there's a part of me that's just going to like settle into, that's a shorter Amy and why. So I'd love to know what you've noticed over the past week. Is that 53, 54 a consistent energy for you? Or did you notice that sort of pressure to start something new and dive into that? What are you looking forward to in the next week? Tapping into the detailed truth, I think was the thing. So the detailed truth, letting small details clarify the bigger truth. Are you going to tap into that clarity potentially for your marketing message around what it is to bring that inspiration and bring to life things for others? I look forward to your comments. I look forward to your insights. I look forward to your questions. If you've got questions, then let me know. If you've got questions about how this plays out for you, let me know. And we can connect around that. If you're a premium member, feel free to bring your charts to the weekly calls and we can look at transits there. If you are a standard member in the community, we've got community connections tonight, and you're welcome to bring your body graph and ask questions there. We run those. If you're not a community member, come and join us in the community and you can bring your chart, you can ask questions, you can engage and pay attention to the inconsistencies so we can notice the contrasts. That's why we do transit talks. I look forward to connecting with you all soon. Have a great day, week, month, however long it is before we connect again. Trying to find the stop button. There we go. I will connect with you soon.